episode.
Hello.
How about you kick this off?
No, no. Go ahead. No, thank you.
Um, that's just frigid. Um, hung out with you last week. Felt like that was a very long time ago. I had a wonderful time. Jolie actually started school this week, and that was unexpected. I had the wrong date. I was going around telling I was going by what she told me, which was the 9th, which is a Saturday. So I was going around telling everybody, like, yeah, she go back to school on the 9th. Finally checked all those emails that have been building up, and it was, um, in fact, the 6th. And we had a lot of prep ahead of time for that. She is traveling by herself now, taking public transportation solo. So we had to do some trial runs. Today was the first day that she went out into the world unaccompanied. And it's crazy to me. That is
She
crazy.
do.
She did fine. I dropped her off this morning, and she was like hesitating crossing the street, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is this nigga can't cross the street."
Don't say that.
I was like, "We're in trouble." Not her navigating the world, and but she did it. She's only gonna get better.
How long does it take her to get, sorry, I hit the mic. How long does it take her to get there?
A half an hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
Half an hour. And we took we took regional rail. She takes regional rail, which is a little bit, it's not a city subway.
What's up with these
And
kids? Amanda's kids take regional rail too. What is these bougie schools these kids are
have you
going
been
to?
on Philadelphia subway? Broad Street line in a minute? Anyway, we did take it. We when I was training her up, we took the regional rail, and then we took Jolie could not go to Erie Avenue. I'm sorry. It's just it just can't happen. Not yet. She need to be at least 16 to do that. But anyway,
I remember Erie Avenue stop the first time I got off there, and I was like, oh,
what in the
different,
Sodom
different.
and Gomorrah? What in the Babylon? Where am I? But we ended up we did take the subway. I took her both routes. And I don't know if you remember, but like sometimes kids would come on and they just stick out like, yo, you don't take the sub. And she
You
was
can't fall
cool.
asleep and know when to wake up. Your body just know.
Yeah.
Remember that? You go to
Yeah.
sleep, like, oh, it's my stop. I'm out.
No. But
Uh,
she's just a she's I was just looking at her and I was like, wow, she's gonna grow and she's gonna get into her own style. And she's such a beautiful little being. And I was so nervous about her being out here and like being this attractive little being. Not just like she's cute, but like she's just, I don't know. And I'm her mom, so I'm like obsessed with her, but there's just something about her. And I was like, what? I can't. For the first time, normally I like when she was growing up, playground, all that shit, I was never a mother to be like scared or like super overprotective. But then it finally hit me of like, actually, you've been very protective, very overprotective, and you have to let go. And I was just fucked up a little bit and nervous about her navigating this world. And I don't know I think your topic is in alignment, and I'll go into it a little bit deeper, but like, how do I set her up to not fall for the okey doke, but still not shrink at the same time, to like show up, be herself, but also not be able to how to know how to maneuver and to like protect herself. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how the fuck my parents just let me out there. I was riding subs very young. The H, the XH.
You was on the XH?
Girl, I love the XH. 53? 23? Shout out to Philly.
Oh wow, the
SEPTA.
23. Shout out to Germantown.
Anyway, but yeah, my sweet, sweet being is out there and figuring
It's
it
good.
out, maneuvering the world. She's developing her own identity in a lot of ways. Who is she outside of me in the world? How is she acting? And I don't have access to it. I can't even see it. I
Look at
don't
your
even know.
face. Your whole body. It's like your
I
body
don't even
language
know.
feels like.
My sweet baby. I
Did
love
she
her.
tell you I text her?
No. See,
I
now I
text
don't even know
her. I
people are
love
texting
her.
her. This is
I
terrible.
text her and was like, Joe, have a good first day. And then I was asking her if she took the train by herself yet. She's like, no, that's tomorrow. And I was like, okay, make sure you stand with your back against something. Don't stand too close to the platform. Make sure you keep your head on a swivel. You're looking around, you're paying attention to your surroundings. She's like, okay. She's so sweet.
Gotta
She
get her
gonna
a
be
gun.
fine. She's gonna learn by scraping her knees the same way she learned how to walk. I'll fall down a couple times. Wait till it's a detour on that train or something. She could be like, "What?" She gotta get lost a little bit. She'll call you. She'll figure it out.
Especially gonna get a like a tracking phone, an iPhone for her.
Oh, you don't have tracking on her phone?
Mm-mm.
Oh
I have
yeah,
to get an
you
iPhone.
immediately have to change her phone. You
Yeah.
have to be able to. She has to be able to share your location. It was funny. I was gonna ask you if she can share her location with me. I got your location. I have everyone's. It just brings me comfort to be able to see where everyone is. Yeah, iPhone her up, please.
Yeah, it's coming. Which means she's
Wow.
gonna have internet, which means,
No,
you
you
know,
can still have all kinds of child settings and provisions on there for her. You can set that up in a particular way. Don't won't worry, Sheila.
sweet baby Jojo. Pray for her. Everybody, collective prayers, protections. If you see her on the street, watch her, see how she's moving. Don't say anything to her. Can't blow our collective espionage cover,
Cover.
but look out for these streets because JoJo's in them.
JoJo's in them. Well, yes, I came home, had a very eventful time at home. We did a lot. I saw you every day, right?
Oh,
That was a lot. I did have, one of my highlights was that I got to hang out with Joe. We had our Sephora date.
yeah.
Jolie officially has better skincare stuff than Shanti. And it cracks me up. So I took Jolie, I've been promising her she's into skincare. And we went to Sephora and it was like about her. And she went around and she was testing things, putting it on her hand, like, I don't know about this. She picked up one thing. I said, no, not that. I tried to act like it wasn't good. I was like, I ain't paying for that.
This is trash,
It's
Jolie.
like $96. And I was like, no, 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 no. She didn't see how much it cost. She was just touching it. I was like, no, that's not good. That's not good. But she got her skincare stuff. I'm hoping that she's liking it. But I remember coming home and being like, you gotta hide this from your mom. Your mom is going to use this stuff.
I want that
And
Manuka honey
you want
face
the
mask.
honey mask? That
Yeah.
thing is fire. Yeah, so I told her, I said, you gotta put that away, girlfriend. Don't hide that in your room. Don't let her
That's a
see
shame.
it. But that was fun. She was cute. She like loosened up with me and I was happy about that. And she was asking me such intelligent and poignant questions about us and our relationship and how we grew up and how we first became friends and was very inquisitive about who you were as a young person and how you were when like you found out she was coming and I told her you didn't tell anybody and then I told her about how you
Running these
disappeared.
streets, Joe.
No. I made it very PG-13. And I was like, she was so excited. Meanwhile, you were terrified, but you were still excited. But it was cool. It was really cool to bust it up and chill with Joe.
Thank you for
Uh,
that again.
yeah, of course. And then yeah, saw my family, which is always
Oh
good.
my God.
It's always good. My family is so tricky. It's like I look at them. I saw my grandmother first, which was very hard, and sad because she's not in
Your
a
father's
environment
mother.
that she wants to be in. Yeah, my father's mother. So that was hard. And then my crazy cousin reached out to me, who I haven't spoken to in years, and I actually hopped on the phone with her and had to talk to her about things.
Oh,
So
really?
not about us, only about my grandmother, but
Oh.
trying to work things out and just seeing your parents age, seeing your parents fail, listening to your parents lie through their teeth. It's just that's the thing. Boy, is that's not a very disappointing
Fall
thing.
from grace, child.
Girl, I'm like, yo, why do you lie as though I don't know? It's crazy. But one of the highlights was that my mother's husband, he turned 79 with his old ass, and he's had a very hard year. Just finished with some health scares, so I'm very grateful that he's here, and he's very grateful that he's here. You could tell, and he was very grateful that you came and celebrated his birthday with him.
First of
You're
all, the
you're
white
so
cookout
funny.
was lit.
Told
Okay.
y'all.
It was good. The food was good. It was a spread. It was a presentation. It was an occasion.
A
Okay?
seated cookout.
A
Have you
seated,
ever been to one?
not them passing the buns and I never had a hot dog roll passed to me ever. So,
In a in
in a
a
wicker basket
basket
with the
with
cloth.
a cloth. Yes. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But welcome to a white cookout. That's how it goes. And it was a time. It was nice. It was a little segregated. There was a black side of the table and a white side, but we're gonna look past that. I don't
I
think they
tried to sit on the white
realize.
side, and you definitely were like, Shanti, do you sit here? No,
I
no.
know because, well, that's when we left, my sister was like, I don't think that you understand how amazing it is that you have a friend that you can just bring anywhere and she's just gonna fit in. She's just gonna talk because a lot of her friends, they're dope, but you know, they stick to themselves. They stick to the people that they know. And yeah, you were just like, oh, I'm gonna go chop it up with this person.
Frank, my nigga Frank, stop playing. I love
I will
Frank.
say you almost lost your damn mind when you almost gave my stepfather's sister the name of our podcast. I was about to throw up. I was like, what are you doing? Seriously, no. So that would have been horrible. And I'm very happy I caught that because that would have
I
sent
surely would have.
ripples,
Oh, really?
ripples through the fan. Oh my God. As soon as she listened,
Your mom
the
doesn't know
first
that?
N word she heard, she would
Oh,
have immediately reached out to do you know what they're saying? They're on there talking about their sex. Do you know
did
that?
I
Like,
did it, did I
I don't
tell
have
the
time for that.
collective that my mom listened to the podcast? Did I say
No,
that?
you I don't think you ever did.
Oh, that's another episode. I'll share that one. Yeah.
What did she say that we were dumb? Or to know
Yes.
nothing?
Basically. Basically. She
Shout out
says
to
you're more
grandma.
intelligent than that.
Apparently
Wow.
we're not.
I
Okay.
said, girl,
Anyway,
little do
so
you know.
that was a time. I want to shout out, I have to shout out all the men that show up for women that they are not in relationships with. I went to get my car serviced because it was just time. And girl, when I tell you that man called me back there and ran off all the things that my car needed, and he said
No,
$1,700.
he
That's
did
what he
not.
had said. Yes, he
Mm-mm.
did. And I felt so sad, immediate sadness and sorrow. And then I was like, no. And so then I started to ask him, like, what do we need? He was like, I need two front brakes. He tried to tell me I needed two new tires in the front. And I was like, and I knew that. I said, what's the tread on the tire? Because I was like, hold up. No, I don't. Because I just had a tire issue and I asked them, are my tires still good? And they say yes. So two new tires in the front, some shit about, you ever heard of this? Um, rinsing out the brakes or something, rinsing out literally like you rinse out the brakes or some shit like that.
Brake
I did
fluid?
no. it's a wash. It's he was just saying stuff.
It's a lie. He's
He was just saying stuff to me. And when I tell you brake flush, that's what it's called. And an EFI service. I don't even know what that is. My
not an
car has
EFI.
my car has less than 35,000 miles on it. That car, ain't nothing wrong with that
You
car.
went to Toyota dealership. That's why, right?
I don't have a Toyota, Shanti. Don't
Forgive me.
try to
You went to,
fucking
that's
shade me.
my projection. I apologize.
I went to the dealership because I have a warranty that, anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, I go to the dealership. I'm one of those suckers. But the point of this is that something in me was like, call Black. Call Black. He knows about cars. Because every time I take my car here, I'm spending $700, $800. 1,700 was, now y'all went too far. I still left spending 700 and some dollars, which, okay, you need brakes, fine.
Yeah.
Change your brakes, do whatever you got to do. It was like brakes and oil change, and that somehow was $700. It's beyond me. It's above me. But when I tell you Black, I just love him. I called him and I was like, Black, and he was like, what's wrong? And I told him what was happening. He said, give him the phone. And that was all. Give him the phone.
Oh,
The man put him on speakerphone, and Black was like, so what is this? No, 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 no. So she just got her 30,000 mile inspection. Please, or not inspection, her 30,000 mile checkup. Please tell me what they did. He was like, well, no, she shouldn't need this. And what kind of tires? He was like, those are race car tires. Why are you trying to sell her race car tires? She doesn't need those. That's a Nissan. They're like just going in on this guy and got it down to less than half of
won't
what
you
it would
do
have
it?
been. So I was just really in that moment, I just thought to myself, like, I don't know,
Community.
community, but also just like uh having a man in your life that you can call up and rely on in that way is so important and special. And it made me think about our little back and forth on if you need them versus if you want them. And I said, baby, both, because I needed this motherfucker in that moment. I thank you, King. And I thank all the kings out there that are out here looking out for their single friends who are doing their damn
Let me,
best.
can some a mechanic nigga become my friend? Cause I don't, I got a lot of, I got amazing, brilliant minded men that I call for many things, but not one for anything.
Shahid don't know nothing about cars.
No, he got a toy Tesla, that weird
I
car.
think that he
He has
does
an
know
iPhone
about
for a
cars,
car,
though.
girl.
I think he does know about cars, though. I
Oh
think I
well,
remember that.
for real?
Yeah, I dated him. Yeah, he knows about cars.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty sure you could call him up
okay.
because that's your best friend. I love that that's your best friend. It's so funny to me. I'm like, whatever. It's one of your top. I don't want to say the next thing.
Good.
We could skip that.
Hot shit. Does that work? That didn't
No,
sound good.
no, that's voicemails. That's better.
Shit.
What's hot shit?
Hot shit. I don't know.
It's
Let
got to be
me.
like Hot Boys. Do it to that, but make it.
Shit. That block is
Uh,
hot. The block is hot.
I don't
Hot
hate
shit.
that. I don't hate that, Shati.
Block is hot. The block is hot. Shit.
I actually like that. All right, that's it. That was really good. I fuck with it. Heavy.
I mentioned this last week, but I want to go over this again because I feel like this is very important. I cracked something in me. Um, I always would feel like a failure because like nonfiction books I cannot get into. I put it down. Shh,
For
boring.
real?
Hate nonfiction.
So you
Fiction,
can't you can't do the self-help.
no, I can't read self-help books. But on Audible, absolutely. I could never do an Audible fiction book because it would mess up it would, I don't imagine, my brain doesn't work that way. I have to like have my own cadence and voice and it's
Do
very
you do different voices for the characters?
sometimes no, I don't. But my speed, if it's a different, it depends on what's going on. Yeah, I'll like fuck up the cadence or whatever. But I discovered that and I was like, you're not a failure, Shanti. You can do self-help. It needs to be audible. It needs to be a white man talking to you. It needs to be an authoritative white person talking to you and you
What
will
the fuck?
digest it. And so I've been listening to Atomic Habits. This is by James Clear. Anthony, I'm going to buy you this book.
I have it.
But it's been, you haven't?
Yep, just sitting right on over there looking at
For
me.
real? Oh, I thought, yes, I thought last week you said, yeah, get it for me.
I
It
have it. I found it.
it is amazing, and it's been very helpful, and it's been helpful, especially with the start of the school year and with helping Jolie create better habits. I was never taught or given any kind of like routine really by my parents, so I've just been winging it. But this is great, and some habits that I'm working on is my phone addiction. Y'all know I have a serious phone addiction, but now I feel like I have the tools to really cut this out, to really implement it in a way that is going to be consistent.
What are the tools?
So he talks about cues, he talks about habit stacking, and he talks about the environment. So just using those different strategies, you can create a habit or take away a habit. So, as I did before, I have slipped back to having my phone in my room. So my phone goes out of my room at a certain time. During the work day, if I can help it, I'm going to leave my phone in my car. I was actually just talking to Pablo today, and he was telling me about different settings on your iPhone that I didn't know beyond do not disturb that can be um that you can use as a strategy of like changing your interface on your phone so that you can't see the apps, all these different things that I'm going to implement. I want to build my athletic endurance. I went running today because I'm on my shit,
You
and
went running
I went
today?
running and I ran like I didn't stretch or anything. I just woke up and I was like, I'm gonna build habits and ran like 5 miles, and now I can't walk. Like my knee
You
is
ran
fucked up.
5 miles?
I
You're an
woke up and
idiot. I
ran
love
in the
you.
heat. I was foaming at the mouth again. I was listening to Kanye West, Unwell and Extreme. And now I fucked up my knees. So I was like, calm down. And create consistent admin times. And what I learned, what was really helpful for me is before you even start like making your strategy, he just asked you to be aware and to look at your habits now. And it brought up a lot of stuff of like where my blind sides are, where I get overwhelmed. And most importantly, the areas that I get overwhelmed is not because of some type of internal disorder, but more of there's just no process there. It's not categorized. It's just a clusterfuck. So just organizing all of that. And I was like, that was really helpful. So shout out to Atomic Habits, James Clear. You guys can listen to it on Audible or buy it, but I highly recommend it. And another thing I wanted to share for hot shit is Bridging the Gap. It's a YouTube as well as an Instagram handle, and it's a father and son. And the son shares music, like classic hip hop, R&B songs with his father and gets his reaction from it. So he's listening to like fucking Usher, Kendrick Lamar, Frank Ocean, all types of amazing albums. And it's just the sweetest thing. And he's like an old school, black guy, father and son duo. It's Bridging the Gap _21 on Instagram. And then YouTube is just Bridging the Gap. They're so cute. And I just stop and smile really broadly whenever the little content comes on. So if you want a nice, what is that called? Page cleanser. I should follow that cute little duo. And you want to talk about the podcast, Antoinette?
Sorry, yo. My blood is upon me, so I'm sad. Please rate and review, subscribe, and share this podcast, please. People have been doing it, which is really nice. We've been getting a lot of reviews. I don't know if they're new folks, newcomers, since the episode with Fran and Jade really popped off quite significantly, but that's not surprising given their celebrity. Um, so yeah, thank you. It means a lot. And especially it's so interesting to read what folks get from the podcast because I think it helps us understand what we're doing more. And so there's been some really generous reviews that offer a lot of insight into what it is that people get from us. So thank you for that. Uh, we do have a town hall for Patreon, for patrons. Patrons are folks that have signed up on Patreon to watch us on the podcast and not just talk, but you can see us. You can see Shanti's really cute top. She has the slick back middle part situation going on with a very cute cheek and lip. And she looks very moisturized. She's
Because
a
the
little
lighting in my new camera, which I was able to buy because of patrons. Shout out to y'all.
the new the
Oh
new
my,
computer. Oh, good. Good, good, good. So shout out to the patrons for holding us down. But yeah, and you can join and get this content for as little as $5 a month. Where else can you get anything for $5 a month?
child.
Literally nowhere. Inflation is upon us, but we're keeping it real in 2023. We're maintaining the prices, okay? It's donation based, so you could also do $500 a month.
Oh,
Whatever.
come on now, big daddies and
You don't need,
mommies.
what were you about to say? What escaped you just then? Tell me. What frazzled you? What word? What word was it? Was it mommy?
Daddies. And then I was like, well, what's the feminine and then the non-gendered version of that? And I stopped.
Family.
But the
That's
family
what
does not give the same energy as a
that shit's
daddy.
hoteppy. I know. Anyway, so yes, join us on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/around the way curls. And shout out to new patrons. Jay, Ruby, Ashley, Harvey, Nicola, Sierra, Nylia, Sierra R, Taylor, Rod. I'm pretty sure that's probably Bria, but I wrote Byra. But it could be Byra. I'm not sure. I apologize. Nat and Jerome. You are
Jerome in the
all
house.
appreciated and loved. And that town hall that is only for patrons, which is basically a bonus episode and a chance to interact with Shanti and I live, is September 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us there, and more information will be put on Patreon for folks to join us. Let's take a break. You want to take a break? Want to sing?
These messages will be right back.
Where'd you write that break? Because it's not there. It's after the patrons.
What's happening?
You're writing it above. Gracias. That new computer you got, those keys are loud, huh? It
So
sounds
it
like you
sounded.
know the game when it's like when you're trying to hit the things. Did you ever do that in Chuck E. Cheese? Where the little
You
thing
know,
came out the hole
my
and then
mom
you
did not
try to
take
hit it.
cheese.
I'm sorry. I don't mean
Yeah,
to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but why would you say it like that?
I never went
It
to Chuck
looks,
E. Cheese.
you've never been to Chuck E. Cheese ever?
As in a child, as an adult, just
I was
disgusted
about to
by the whole
say,
scenario,
I was
yes,
about to
but
say your next birthday is Chuck E. Cheese. Would you
never.
be mad?
I don't even like Dave and Buster's.
You don't like Dave and Buster's? Why?
I don't like it makes me feel like a waste of money. I'm like, this is so dumb. We're being duped, bamboozled, got. Hate it here. It's a casino for children.
It's a casino for anyway. That
Sorry.
really, you can't have any
Yeah,
fun.
Buzzkill, sorry, Ann, today. She got so upset. Look at her face.
Because I've had fun times. You know what you would like to do? You should do? I that was one of the best things I ever did for my birthday was we did like a laser tag
Mm.
thing, but we were like dressed up
Yeah.
in the gear
I
and
would
like
love
on
that.
teams.
Yeah.
And I just knew Dennis was gonna be so good, and he was terrible.
Terrible. Don't you love when
He
that
was on
happens?
my team getting killed. Left. It was me, Dennis, Tina, and Ian, and we were getting our asses kicked, and it was my fucking birthday, and I was pissed. And
I'd have
I
been
am.
rolling Antoinette. We'd have been in there like,
No, because you know what they were doing? They were hiding out. They were finding the best hiding places, and they wouldn't come out. So the game would be boring if everybody just hid. So they would we would try to wait each other out. They'd be like, "We're wasting our fucking money." So then we would come out and we would just get killed.
that's terrible.
It was
Who are the
so
other
bad.
people doing that?
I don't want to talk about it because we're not friends anymore.
Oh, fuck them.
All right, you want to come back? I'm so sad. All right, I am. I
Not
can't. I'm so
that
fucking sad.
transition. All right, I'm so sad. Damn.
I can't even. I can't even fucking lie, yo.
Oh.
Are you ready? I'm so concerned about this child. And we are back. So, politics as usual. Wow. A question for you. I don't have anything specific to talk about today because I just feel like we need a little bit of a break. Shout out to the asshole on Spotify whose review was I didn't like this episode because we talked too much about
Oh, when
politics.
we argued?
Yeah. And I'm
I
sorry
didn't
for
like
calling
that.
you an
I didn't
asshole.
like that
You are an
episode either,
asshole.
though.
For real?
Yeah, while I was
What?
in it, I was like, we are drawing right now. Like, we are
How?
doing
I think it's
the
so
most.
good. I think it's so good. I don't mind it at all. I think it's important. I think we're a little long-winded, and we just need to let it. We need a producer to be like, all right, y'all both said y'all sides. Keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep it pushing. Like we need somebody in the
That's the
background
part.
to be like, that's enough.
That wasn't the part that we had different ideas and going back and forth.
And I
That
didn't
was
feel like we were
that was
arguing.
super drawn out. That was a very long segment of the whole. That was the episode of us being like, "What you gotta understand is."
Well, I'm interested in something else
I was
then.
let's put that comment there.
It was you, wasn't it? I thought it was you. Like,
Internet's ideas
dickhead.
were not good. Period. Just kidding.
That was you? You put that comment on Spotify? Could you be on
Girl, you know
Spotify?
I don't know how to do that. You know it wasn't me.
I get all of the, I don't know why, but it's so annoying. I get all of the Spotify is interesting. I get all of the Spotify comments, and then you can either like approve, like you have to publish them. So you have to read each comment. I published it. I was like, fuck you. Okay.
Good. I'm glad that you did.
She said, I did not like this episode. Sorry. Let me ask you something, sis. Did you ever say you liked the episode? Like, I just need to understand, like, why do people feel compelled? Like, usually when people who leave bad reviews, like, you leave bad reviews
Let me ask you
because,
something real quick.
no, that has, it's like, what episode did you like? Did you feel compelled then to go on and write, I really like this episode? Just curious. Did you, sis? Or did you only focus on the fucking negative? I'm sorry. If you were a
Internet.
patron, you could see that I'm smiling. Or am I serious? So keep your comments to yourself on this. All
Oh,
right, I have a question. How do you feel about maximum age requirements for politicians?
girl,
This
I
is
feel like
something.
that.
Oh, I I
Sorry.
wasn't. Shanti's ready. Well, just for the audience, I want to give them a little background. This is something that is coming up quite a bit. I mean, it's been a topic of conversation even when Joe and Trump were running against each other the last time. But now, Joseph Robinette is the oldest president to ever hold office. And most likely, it will be him and Trump vying again. Biden is currently 80, Trump is 77. And I think it's very interesting that Trump touts this Biden is so old. Biden is basically, he's actually dead and being controlled by other forces. But like, Trump, you ain't that much younger. It's all about the narrative, and it's very interesting. Also, Republican hope, a presidential hopeful Nikki Haley had a quite the quite the bombshell quote, and she recently said that the U.S. Senate is the most privileged nursing home in the country. Nikki, I believe, is 51, 53, one of those. And obviously, most of the people running for president are older than her, so she's using that as a talking point, which makes sense. I want to just give some context that the minimum age is 30 to be a senator, and then the minimum age is 25 to be a part of the House of Representatives. The minimum age is 35 to be president. Now, the average age of our current Congress is 58 years old. There were 50 senators and 141 representatives over the age of 65 in 2 years ago in that Congress. But it's very interesting as I research this that so many of our most notable folks are old as fuck. Bernie Sanders, 81. Mitch McConnell, 80.
Mitch
Uh,
McConnell's only 80?
don't do that. But I didn't realize Bernie was 81. Um, we've got Mitt Romney, 75. Didn't realize that either. Dianne Feinstein, yes, 89. She old as fuck.
Is that
And
the
then
one
you,
that won't leave?
nah, I don't think she ever said she won't leave.
Is she the one that's technically like physically not there and she's like, yo,
She's there. No,
what goes
she's
on
back.
here?
She has shingles, but she's back now. She has shingles though. But she not, it's not
Oh my
funny.
God.
That's not Maxine Waters, a, a hero, okay, in the hearts and minds of blacks all around this country. 84.
She's
Nancy Pelosi,
84?
yes,
It's
honey.
different though. This shit
See?
different.
And then Nancy Pelosi, 82.
I see that.
That's just a few, okay? Nancy got the bomb fire ass facelift though. I can't even
It it looks
can't hold you.
good.
It looks good. So I guess that's my question, and you have an opinion on this, so I want to hear it. Should there be max age limits or age restrictions, rather, requirements?
Um, no, I don't think so. Yes and no. I actually don't know how I feel about this, to be completely honest, because I've realized that it's ageist. I realize that there's a lot of wisdom, experience, temperament that comes with age as well. But also, like, you are deteriorating, and there's no way that you are going to deny that you are on a decline in your physical and mental, maybe not mental, but physically, you are on a decline. Um, and you're also disconnected. I think I may be uh, being discriminative,
Discriminatory.
discriminatory, child, discriminatory.
It's what your mom was
um,
talking about.
just what she said. Not smart. You sound dumb. You should be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Hated it.
Oh
She was the
God.
one that left that review,
She like,
actually. Um, it feels really disconcerting to have the way Biden, the way Mitch McConnell is up there losing it, saying shit
losing
out
it.
of
What?
context continuously. It's not just like one time. It's like, oh, you're declining. You are declining. You are a day, a month, 6 months from some shit happening to you. And scared, worried. And to, I, yeah, I don't know. To deny that is, I think is naive. Uh, but there are like Maxine. She's on top of it. She
What?
seems like it. Trump
Yeah,
Trump
what do
has a
we
lot
know
more
that
energy and snapback and vitality. I hate to say it, piss of vinegar, than old sleepy Biden.
wow, you are a Republican's dream.
He does. It's just apparent he doesn't.
Biden bike rides like 3 miles a day, just so
Biden
you
also
know.
like fell off of his bike
Because he's
immediately.
actually on his bike. Trump
Well, Trump
does
eats
nothing.
McDonald's every day and still got the mind of a 17-year-old newt or some lizard or something. Anyway,
Listen,
what
I
you
too
think?
have mixed feelings on this. I am very firmly against maximum age requirement, maximum age restrictions, though. Like I am. I think that that is wildly ageist. I don't think that every 80-year-old is the same.
Nope.
I think it varies. I know a lot of really young, dumb people, and I know a lot of really old, dumb people. My thing is, can you get the fucking job done? And like, if there's a decline, like I'm more in favor of some sort of like another kind of cognitive
Yeah.
requirement,
I'm
maybe some
surprised they don't
sort of
have that.
health. They I believe they have, you have to pass certain health screenings and shit. You do have to do that.
I think
But
it's the
like,
cognitive part that should be enforced rather than the health part.
can you look that up and see if there's any cognition tests?
Are there
Um,
any cognitives?
but I think it's also tricky to figure out what would be included in that cognition test. I was listening to Roland Martin. I love him. And he was talking about this and he was just like, I don't care how old Joe is. Is he getting shit done? Is he passing this bill? Is he doing that? It's yes. Did he fall a couple times? Sure, but the motherfucker got up. He was like, Trump has fallen as well. He's tripped, and he was like, Trump might spew more hatred and be more have more vitality, but he's awful for this country. And then they were talking about, well, what if there should be physical requirements? And Roland Martin said, listen, I go to the gym sometimes and I know a lot of strong dumb motherfuckers. I don't care how much you can lift, I don't care how many miles you can run, can you get this job done? So I think that's really interesting. I also think it's interesting to consider, okay, don't look it up anymore because your keyboard's so loud. Fuck it, it's fine. The patrons are probably like, oh my god. But I
No,
also
there
think
isn't.
there isn't. Okay.
No,
So I
that's what they
also
want.
thank you. I think that there's something interesting about one, there's a couple of other factors. You touched on it where there's wisdom with age, right? People have been around, they understand how things work. Two, a lot of being a politician is not something that happens overnight. Like
Mm.
it takes time to get to the level of being a senator, or especially the Senate, or like House of Representatives. Okay, you could be a little bit younger sometimes, but the Senate is definitely an old man slash woman's
Because
playground.
that's what's required, or because that's what
It's not because
is
it's what was
the
required,
culture and what's
but
happened.
it takes time for you to prove yourself. A lot of people have to go, locally you have to prove yourself in order to be representing your state on a federal level, like on a national level. So just in that kind of thinking, it's not going to be some 20 something year old, well, it can't be for the Senate because you have to be 30, but it's not going to be some 35-year-old. Most 35-year-olds haven't done enough politics within their state in order to have that sort of following
I
for
wonder if
on the
there's
federal level.
I wonder if there's some type of financial correlation with it as
Of
well.
course there is. You have to raise money for a campaign. In order to do
Um,
that, you have to have a following. You have to have a backing. You have to have
yeah.
support. And in order to garner that support, that takes time. I think about, our friend Isaiah in Philly, who's a councilman. He's a little, maybe 2 years older than us, 37, 38. He's still a city councilman. I'm sure he has bigger aspirations, but it's going to take time
Mhm.
for him to first do the councilman job, right? And then what? Then the next step maybe you're going to run for mayor. Then after that, what? Maybe you're going to run for governor. Then after that, maybe there's stepping stones to it. So it's interesting in that way as well. It's I don't know if people are considering that. And then I don't know. I think a lot of people are talking about term limits, and I get term limits. I think it's interesting when we talk about term limits because we get frustrated when like it's the same old names every year. The Lindsey Graham, the Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, the Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters, they all win their seats back. But like no, this is where I guess I get dismayed and frustrated. It's like we're voting them back in. It's not that they just get their seat. We're appointing them to this seat. They're winning their seats back. So the same people are like, there's got to be term limits. I'm sick of seeing the same names. I think there's something about name recognition. And when it is time to vote, not only are people not voting, but then you're not doing the research to be informed enough to even know about other options. And so you're voting with the name recognition and down the party lines.
Mhm.
And so I understand the conversation around term limits. I really do. But I need us all to take a step back and understand that these people don't just magically appear. They are appointed. These are who we're choosing. And yes, gerrymandering exists. Yes, there's tricky things going on there. But at the same two things can exist at once. There's voter suppression and gerrymandering, but there's also folks who are not informed and not voting, and then voting the same folks in. So I don't know. I all I know is I think it's wildly ageist to just dismiss someone. I bet you there's a lot of 70-year-olds, 65-year-olds, maybe not a lot, but there are definitely some who could outrun me or maybe do a longer distance. Shit, they be running in the goddamn marathon. And I'll be like, phew, go ahead, y'all. What is that like? I don't know. It's just where it's there's so many assumptions being made just based
Yeah.
off of someone's age
At
that
the same time, there's concern around these how
absolutely.
it can't there has to be some nuance. There has to be some honesty about it's unsettling. It's like, wait a
Yes.
minute, what? What
And it's
is happening?
scary to see Biden blank when
Yeah, or
and
even it's like,
he
no,
be
we're
searching
good
for
with you.
words like us. Sometimes he'd be like the word. He'll say the word instead of like what he's trying to say. I get it. Mitch, that's terrifying. It looks like he's having mini strokes or seizures where he's just like stuck. And they keep saying he's dehydrated. Well, he need to drink some water. He looks
That's
really
from
pale.
dehydration, baby.
They're saying that he's having a lapse of like cognition
You
because
ain't
of
had water in
dehydration.
years then, child. That is a stone dry.
Yeah. Anyway, I just was curious. We don't have to talk any more about politics today. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, I got something. Can you go to one of your other topics? I'll get this ready. I gotta get a thing. Pop culture.
Chrisean had her baby. She gave birth to her a healthy baby boy. She named him Chrisean as well, which makes sense. I love that. I fucking love that. Um, Blueface was not present at the birth. He was partying with his baby mother, who is just
I don't know.
uh,
What was you about to say?
what is she? I hate
I
that
don't know.
question. Wow, it's just
That's
perpetuated.
why I laughed.
um I
He's
don't
on
know any of this drama. Actually, you've
he's
prefaced all of this.
online. Yeah, he's
She
online.
gave birth on live with a gold with a whole chain on. She, that's wild to me. That is wild to me. A lot of people were talking about how amazing it was to have all that collective energy and like encouragement and love the idea of it. I hate that idea of it. Um,
Debrea just did that.
she did it on she shared her
Yeah.
video, but she didn't in real time. She wasn't having people watch it in real time. She shared it with her folks later.
thought it was interesting to just see somebody setting up the camera in all these different views as she goes to the bathroom, as she goes to the bed, as
I
she, I'm
know.
just
Where
like,
are we? What is this?
it's very interesting. But I put this on here because I just felt so bad for her. She was on another live, and Lord, I want this girl to just get off the internet just for a second. And one, she was in the gym talking about her snapback, and I'm like, oh my God, heal, heal, girl. Like, how
She's
you
in
already
the
in the
gym talking about her snapback?
yes, and the baby was in the gym. Somebody was holding the baby there, and she was
Oh,
like showing
she's not
her.
well. Oh my
Then,
God, I did not know this.
yeah, and then she was also crying on live again about her current situation with Blueface. And he apparently is talking about how he's gonna try to get custody after he even denied that the baby was even his initially. And he's just like doing things.
Where are the men in listen, ooh, patriarchy. Ha! I don't care. Where are the men in her life? Where are the men that are like gonna fuck him up?
He fought somebody in her family on that Zeus show. I don't watch it. I've
She said
seen
he
men
fought
try to
somebody.
step to him,
I
and
hate
apparently Blueface
him.
is like a boxer and apparently can fight, even though he looked like he weighed 100 pounds
I
wet. But
hate him.
listen, she was crying she was crying and then the baby started to cry. She was holding the baby and she said, I know that he feels this, talking about her son. And she said, he only cries when I cry. And that just made me so sad because imagine the turmoil that baby was living in energetically in her womb
Oh,
with all that. I know. And it made me think of stuff that you've told me, and now the baby is still feeling that, and then like it's going to be subject to all this public scrutiny and just uh that baby like she I just wish for her to just get away from that man. I'm almost happy he wasn't at the birth so she could just be surrounded by hopefully people who care about her. I don't know
who cares
how
about her?
right. I'm like, I don't know who you have around you. I and it's just so sad. It's just so sad and I'm so worried about her. And I think maybe this baby might ground her differently and change, her life's course. It might be like the greatest thing for her, which is not a baby's job, but here we are. But I hate this for them. I hate this for that baby. I hate that for her. And when she said that, I said, "Oh, yes, your baby can feel all of this."
Yeah, been feeling it. Those are its first neural pathway grooves are
Mhm.
on that drama. It's like again, babies that are addicted to crack. It's not different. It really isn't. The cortisol, the hormone that's pumped at fight or flight. Yeah, that baby has been feeling that. Been feeling that. God
Prayers.
help them. Oh, I wish her peace. I wish her ease. Erica Badu, save her.
I know, right? She be taking strays and
Take
help.
the straight and get her an all
Erica,
white.
help.
Give her a enema. Help her.
I bet you she's tried. I bet you. She might. If we see Chrisean hanging out with Erica soon, I'll be like,
I'd be
praise
like,
God.
yes,
I'll be so happy.
yes.
Anyway, I think we should all send her some collective love. And another story, this was just upsetting. This was really upsetting to me. And I'm gonna play this for y'all.
Ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick.
Okay. I have to start this over because I don't know why this isn't working. But it keeps saying that I'm logged out. Can you mark this down? Why? Why, God? Oh, I'm logged out. Never logged in. All right, hold on.
Oh my God, what just happened?
I can't find it. Hold on. For the podcast. It's okay, boo. Where's she at?
Mail.
Maybe I won't use the audio because I don't know. All right, fuck it. You ready? Just won't use it.
I think that was good enough.
No, it wasn't. Pamati, please don't use any of the audio. Fuck it. Okay. So next up, this next story, a woman, I'm sure everybody saw this video going around that a woman was hit in the head with a brick by a man. She had a huge knot. Shanti, have you seen this?
I didn't watch it all, but yeah, I saw enough to see that.
Okay. She had a huge knot on her head after she claims that this man hit her in the head with a brick after she declined to give him her phone number. So this went viral. Lots of people talking about it. And what I was interested in were the responses. And I was so saddened to see some of the responses. That was my initial response to what I read. I'm going to read some of them. Someone said, firstly, nobody deserves to be physically assaulted, and all assaulters should face punishment. Okay, I can get on board with that. Secondly, I would not recommend for any man to defend a woman who is not kin or friend, and definitely not in the case of a woman who believes it is women who are protectors. I think he meant men. Should have called on her protector girlfriends to come to her rescue.
She's queer. She's queer as well.
Okay. Someone else wrote, "Are niggas immune to bricks? Question mark. You don't risk your life for a stranger." That got 3,284 likes.
Wow.
Someone responded to that. They trying to manipulate this man to be Superman for a lady he doesn't know. Dead face, laugh face. Someone else wrote, "We don't need men to protect or provide." That's in quotes. "Dangerous situation arises." Quotes. "Why aren't men protecting me? You can't make this shit up." And they went on and on. And I will say there's a lot of men who were like, nah, somebody should have did something that's crazy, yada, 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 yada. But there were a whole lot of men and women and possibly non-binary royalty who were like, yeah, nah, I ain't fighting for nobody else. That ain't my business. You get hit in the head with a brick, you must have did something. You must have did something. What was interesting though was another man, he posted a video. He said, "I was one of the men that was there. And this girl, and I did nothing, and I would not do anything again."
Oh.
And he said, this woman, he claims, is a troublemaker in the neighborhood, that apparently she goes up to she's always wanted her attention, wanted to go viral. She goes up to white people, old or young, and just hits them and bullies
What?
them. This is what he claims. He said that she's just basically a fucking menace and that she's always asking for trouble. And so when trouble showed up, he was not about to do a goddamn thing and put himself in a situation where he's at risk, where he could be harmed. He was like, she's been calling on this. He was like, should that dude hit her with a brick? No, nobody deserves that. But maybe you kind of did.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk about this because this is layered.
No.
Because his response came out well after the responses of these other men. Well after. So the initial thing is, you see a woman get hit in the head with a brick, or you hear about it, And a lot of folks are like, ain't my business. Ain't nobody, what, you said you don't need us, right? We just brought that up. You said you don't need us, so if you don't need us, handle it. What you need us for? Okay. And then you have this other layer of like, oh, well, she's a troublemaker, so she deserved it. And I ain't gonna put myself in harm's way just because I'm a man. What are your thoughts?
Either way, it's fuck women. Like I don't care. Either way, it's justified. Um, justified violence. Number one, justified violence against women. However you look at it. I didn't do a lot of research into all of this, but my gut reaction is absolutely not. Like, there's no way to justify somebody throwing a brick,
No, not throwing it. He took it
hitting
and
a
bust her upside the head.
brick across somebody's face. I don't care what, I don't care. I don't care. A man or a woman, that's just completely unreasonable, irrational, unjustifiable, and crazy.
Would it have been different if it was a woman that hit her in the head with the brick for you? In
Um,
terms of,
no, that's crazy. Yeah, a part of me, to be completely honest, a part of me. I mean, for the same circumstance, if she was trying to, the one was trying to holler at the other woman, and that happened, no, that would make sense. But if it was like, no, it doesn't. It does not make sense. There is a part of me that feels something at that, um, the switch of that, a woman against a woman versus a man against a woman. Um, but all of it is just complete chaos, complete dysfunction and disorder that you cannot justify or make sense of. That don't make no sense.
so let me
I
ask
don't
you,
care. Even go ahead.
what would you have wanted to see happen? If she gets hit with the brick, there's a bunch of men around. What happens?
That they would have freaked out. Yo, like, or if he once he's picking up the brick, that they're like, no, don't do that. Chill, stop. You know. Um, apparently he ran away. Is that what happened?
I
He
have
hit
no
with the brick and
idea.
ran.
I don't know. I know that the other guy who came out with the video said that she was egging him on, like, what you fuck you, what you going, like, doing that whole thing.
Like, and these kind of, it's also another thing to mention when you're talking about like community events, right? Like these people, this was not random in a lot of ways either. It sounds like maybe it was. Actually don't have enough context, but often people know people, right?
It
And there's
sounded like that
history,
was the
there's
case.
years of history between people. There's years of history between the men. There's family history, there's dynamics, it's community. You grow up together. I don't know. It's a small hood. You ain't leaving it. I'm making assumptions about what the environment is. So I'm not surprised by any means that that had happened. And it sounds like, and I'm assuming that the environment um, was dysfunctional. And like that's not anything to be surprised or like that's not out of the ordinary in some ways. So I'm not
Do you-
surprised by it. I think for everybody else, maybe it's like wild, but it is really it's really sad. It's really, really sad. It's really scary. Um, and it's just I think I'm also really sad at the way in which I feel uh how commonplace that how how wild it is, but also how not wild it is in the same breath. So
I think it's layered because I've definitely given my phone number out to people that I didn't want to, just based off the fact that I don't want no problems. Take it
really,
when I
out of fear
absolutely
of a threat of violence.
maybe not even. I don't even know if it's violence. It just could be whatever. I don't know. But if I'm like in a spot where it's a whole bunch of men, and especially if there's an energy that feels aggressive or that feels like I don't know, I'll give it to you. Here, take it. if I initially I'll ignore it. Not a cat call down the street, but if you're like hounding me or something,
Really?
absolutely I've done that. And the
Oh,
craziest part is that now, like you used to be able to give out your wrong number. Now they will call you right there. And don't let it be a wrong number. So you're getting the right phone number as well. It was interesting. There were a lot of women on there like she should have given him a nigga's number, or you got one woman was like, this is why I got a Google Voice, because I send everybody there so that I don't have to deal with this nonsense, because it's no way that I'm saying no to somebody because I don't want any problems. Like it was a lot of women who had these plan Bs and in place just in case, which is really sad that that's what we have to do. I think, or that's where we've gotten. I think too, it was interesting, and not all men are built like this. I would have wanted a man to step up immediately, because I think what I see is that most often, and we don't know how large this man was, what his strength was, whatever. Most often, for many women, men can overpower them physically. Okay. And and if you're hitting the head with a brick, you're already disarmed. Like you ain't getting up, you ain't fighting, you don't know what else is gonna happen. But that's also the point that a lot of men are saying, like, you don't know what else is gonna happen. You know how many times that there were some men like, yo, this is so fucked up. Can't say that men shouldn't have stood up, but also, you know how many times a man has stood up and then gotten himself killed over some shit
yeah,
that
no,
was
for
just
real.
like,
Yeah,
and it, that really had nothing to do with him, but he
yeah,
felt like I got it, like I. So there were some men who were like, "Yo, I'm compassionate, I'm empathetic, but like it doesn't mean we not scared too. We just
yeah,
saw a dude hit a chick in the head with a brick. Something's
yeah,
off with him. We don't know
yeah,
what he has. We don't know
yeah, yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
And I think it goes to show like how there are no rules anymore. That's what I took from it. Like there's no fucking rules in society anymore where like you don't fight with your hands, men aren't hitting women. Like there used to, I just feel like when my dad talks about shit went down, yeah, a man would have stood up, whatever, because 9 times out of 10, you just fighting. It's not a whole bunch of guns coming out. It's not a whole bunch of shit like that. Now shit is wildly different. People are losing their lives over small shit. People are getting hit with bricks for not giving their phone number out. Like everything has escalated. Where are the fucking rules? And so that was where I went instead of where are the men, which I have to be honest, I definitely thought that initially. And then I started to read more, and I was grateful for some of the vulnerable men who were like, yo,
Niggas
this
scared
shit
of
is
niggas
scary for
too.
all of us.
Yeah, niggas scared
Okay?
of men too. Yep. Which,
Everybody's
yeah,
scared.
which I think shows the dysfunction. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And I don't know if it's a loss of rules because, like, or the complete
There was a
dysfunction.
fucking, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think in order to function, there's a certain
Unwell. Like,
standards. There's
people are
standards that you
very
comply with.
unwell. Yeah. It is no reasonable uh decision making. People are out of fucking control, out of their minds at this
Yeah,
point.
it's
I
funny.
also want to just name how much privilege I have. I ne I can I can count on three fingers how many times I've had to walk past a group of men in since I was what? When I was much younger, that was something that I experienced often, in the discomfort and the fear that comes up and the strategy and how you have to already in your head, you figuring out how you're gonna move, you looking at everybody, you're not making eye contact, you crossing the street, you whatever.
Looking at the ground,
You're looking at the ground,
taking
you
your phone out to
smiling.
look.
Yeah, you're
Right.
gonna do the submissive thing, or you're gonna do the thing where you complete. I haven't had to be in practice of that kind of defense
Really?
since I drive everywhere. My neighborhood, I know the niggas in my neighborhood. I speak to them. They don't give me that kind of energy. Um, yeah, I haven't experienced that since I was a teenager. So I'm coming from a
Wow.
completely oblivious space of like, I don't even know that. But it strikes terror in me because when I experienced that was when I was Jolie's age, when I first was like, oh shit, I'm a target. I'm attracting some attention that I have no idea that's like feels wild to me. Feels like completely I have no control over it. How do I respond to it? Child, keep her
And also,
the
I
game.
also have to think to myself in those situations, I when I feel that, I often am like, well, what about this is making you feel unsafe? Are you really unsafe, or you just don't want to be bothered? And you were taught to feel unsafe if like you're passing by a group full of men. Because nine times out of, not nine times, but like they just want a number or they just catcalling, which is not right. But I don't, they're not a risk to me physically. And so it's like, oh, well, I've also put that on them too. Like something about me is looking at them and determining that they're not safe.
Cause
And
they,
I'm like, let me finish. And I asked like, well, what lived experience do I have that's coloring that as well?
yeah,
Right. So
plenty.
like it's I'm not saying it's not valid, but what I'm saying is it makes me sad that like I
Yeah.
look at a group full of men, black
Mhm.
men,
Mhm.
who are a part of my community and think, should I cross the street?
Get scared.
Am immediately are
Defense.
just like got my head on a swivel, being calculated
Mhm. Mhm.
and trying to
Mhm.
determine, you
Talk
know,
about it. Yeah, that's real.
what do I need to do
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
How do I keep
And they
myself
feel the
safe?
same way. And the fact that they feel the same way, which shows that, yeah, there's even less safety for that. There's women feel that way and men feel that way, and men don't have any space to voice that fear within their own
They're not
because they're not
supposed to be.
supposed to. You're supposed to buck up, and they got to. Why you ain't hit that brick? Then I was scared for my life as well because they're
Yeah.
unwell.
It
I'm
it's
scared.
it it's interesting too because I talked to my own father about it and he was like, you know what would have happened back in the day? We would have kicked every one of them niggas ass. That's what he said. Who didn't fight for that girl? She got hit in the head with a brick. He was like, they wouldn't have still been standing up. And it's like, I don't
Nope.
know. It's that
No,
old
no,
school.
that,
I
that
get
ain't
it, but
happening anymore.
no,
Not with
I get it. And I saw like some like Van Lathan was like very outspoken about it. And I appreciated his stance. He was like, like y'all are wrong. All y'all in my comments saying that yada yada yada, but also he grew up,
you don't.
I'm
You ain't
sure, with
grow up
that
in the hood with
mentality.
those niggas. You ain't see.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's true. He grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That wasn't sweet. So like, I think that
No.
he just grew up with a certain teaching that like you don't put your hands on a woman, and if you do, you getting dealt with.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. I don't know. I would love to
It
listen.
depends on the woman.
I would love for the male listeners to call in and give us insight into like this because it's easy to say, "Oh, this is what you do. This is how you handle this." But like you got to be scared too. You got to be worried about repercussions. You got to be worried about like this fool knows where I live too. Like I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
that they're
anymore.
also being honest about the value or what their perceived value of the woman is as well. And you saw that in
That
the
part.
comments. Like, yeah,
Right.
if it was you walking down the street and somebody hit you with a brick, niggas would probably wild out compared to another woman that, just like you said, is loud, ostentatious, bucks up, fights. She has less value, so it's like, oh,
Well,
she
what is
deserved it.
what's to be I wanted to get to their second. Thank you. That's a great segue. What's to be said about what if she was being, and it's more than provocative. If it's true, we
Yeah,
don't know. She's running around. He was like, she was a bully. She's running around. She terrorizes white people. She
yeah.
terrorizes everybody.
Terrorizing white people.
That's what he said. He was like, she terrorizes anybody that she can bully.
Because she's
So
not as
like, she's.
valuable. She's not as pure. She's not
But
as
this is what I'm
she's not
asking
as
you.
feminine. She doesn't deserve as much protection.
What is to be said? Is there any validity to his correlation of like her looking for trouble, being a troublemaker, calling trouble into her life, and then receiving it?
Well, I don't know. That's a philosophical moral conversation. I don't know. Maybe my conditioning. Of course, I think all of us, a part of us is like, oh, she got what she deserved. I think anybody that says that is, especially folks that witnessed her quote unquote terrorism, um, and the ways that maybe her actions again are connected her to being not feminine, not pure, therefore you're not deserving of protection or grace or violence being perpetrated on you. Perpetuated? I don't
It's
know.
interesting too, because someone else said, and it was the person was black in the comments, they said, you didn't have this energy for when that man hit that woman in the head with that chair. We all thought that was funny
Mm-hmm.
because we all know
See,
what it
I
is to
know.
suffer at the hands of racism, and we were
Mm-hmm.
sick of it. So we
Mm-hmm.
excuse that. You can hit a bitch then,
Ooh,
but then
philosophy 101. Come on now.
it's very
Oh, this
interesting.
is
I don't,
philosophy.
but I don't have the answers at all. But like, and I'm not. I'm only posing questions. I truly don't know. Because we also weren't there. In my heart, I know that I would want not just men, people, anybody that saw that shit to have my back. I know if I saw a woman get hit in the head with a brick, I might, I probably would run to her if I'm being completely honest and be like, yo, what the fuck? You know me. I don't know if I'm fighting a dude, but I'm calling I'm calling, I'm doing something to assist her, not just leaving her out there on some, oh,
No,
let me mind my business. That ain't my business
no.
kind of,
I
like,
don't know
I
that
don't
I
have
would
that in
jump to
me.
him though. If
That's
my
what I'm
state
saying.
and my
I don't know if I'm doing that. I don't know. And so like I'm looking to a man and being like, you got to do that because you're a man.
Ooh,
I get the
tricky.
fear of that too. So I was just
The
like,
fear and
but I
also the
would,
projection of men are secure. Men
yes,
are the
our
only ones capable
protection.
of keeping us safe. That's their responsibility.
And so you can,
Protector,
and as
provide.
fucked up as it is, as much as I absolutely disagree with it, it makes me sick. You can see why some of these men are like, oh, I thought you ain't need us though. Now you need us? Fuck out of here. And it's like, in my mind, all right. Now, I think when people are saying we don't need you, that's in a romantic relationship, bro. You dragging it a little bit because y'all don't know how to act in them. But that's how a lot of folks are seeing it, where they're expressing how they're devalued. I'm not valued
Tricky.
until I gotta fight for you, and then you
Interesting.
need me. Here I
Yeah.
am. Okay,
Yeah.
it's so it's just
I would
it's
love to talk
wild.
about this with Bell Hooks at a dinner table. What you think, Bell?
I would. She would be like, "Well, first off, we have to talk about why we're
First
fighting.
of all, niggas ain't
Why is
shit.
no?
Okay? Let's lay
First
the
of all,
groundwork down.
first of all, please make sure the B is lowercase in my name. There's a typo
First
there."
of all, Beyonce is the devil. I want to start this by saying that light skinned Beyonce, y'all are hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Anyway, men, please call. I want to hear. What's the phone number? 215 I'm usually better at this. I used to know it by heart. Hold on, it's popular. I almost gave somebody else phone number out. 215-948-2780. 215-948-2780. I really want to hear what y'all have to say about this. All right, moving on. That was long enough. Sheila, are
Uh,
you on your phone?
I feel
Are you on your phone, Shati?
I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at what people have been posting on Discord and Patreon. So it's work related. Um, not Barack Obama smoking crack and having homosexual sex.
I'm so mad this is on the outline. There collectively, I loved how all the black podcasters was like, we not even covering that story. And our dumbasses, you were so quick to cover the first letter, and now you want him
First
to be
letter.
a problem so badly. You really do. You
No
are anti.
problem with that.
I want y'all to know Shanti is anti-black because the fact that you have this on this outline has made me so
You
mad. But
don't
go
think
ahead,
Barack Obama could have had homosexual sex and smoked crack? You don't think that's a
Shanti.
possibility?
Go
Ever?
ahead. No, go ahead. No, I
For
don't.
real?
But
It's not a possibility?
Did you
I
research
love
this?
this range for Barack. If Barack is the brilliant being that he is, or we assume him to be, the way he shows up in this world, moves through spaces,
Shanti.
and then he also could have been smoking crack and having gay sex with what's his nigga name? Larry Sinclair? The range, baby.
Have you looked Larry Sinclair up? Have you? Do you
Don't
know
just
who Larry
also you are
Sinclair is?
putting value on you're doing something classist and
No,
upsetting
it's
in
not
this moment.
classes. Go ahead, finish your
Hmm.
statement. I can't wait to just
Think that
blow
you
fucking
disclaiming
bullets
something.
through this. Go ahead. No, with the same guy, you nutcase. Go ahead.
And now you're gonna put me down. You're gonna
I
call
knew
me a
you were.
nutcase and
You
dismiss
are.
me as a
I am
person
dismiss. I'm
to
dismissing this
give
story.
yourself leverage and
Go ahead,
interesting.
Shanti.
Tucker Carlson,
More
who is
trash.
wilding. Tucker Carlson said Jerry Springer's gone. Maury Povich is retired. You know, fuck I come. Tucker Carlson has interviewed Larry Sinclair. I don't have my glasses on, child. I can't see nothing.
I'm prepared.
Uh, he is interviewing Larry Sinclair, who is a con man. Apparently, has served time for scamming, lying. But anyway, Larry said, "I don't care. I got a story to tell." Apparently, had drug-fueled sex with Obama after he was picked up in the limousine. Driver, roll up the partition, please.
Not funny. This is this is dangerous. I'm so mad you're covering
In
this.
1999, and he wants to talk about it. And apparently, there's an interview coming out where he's talking about it, and he
Girl,
said that
he already did this. He already
he
did this. He
tried
wrote
to,
a
but he
book.
said that he was
He wrote a
snuffed
book.
out. He wrote a book about
You
it.
Yes, he wrote a fucking book. He's been out,
Mm,
girl.
they trying to. They
You
trying to
guys
not.
should be embarrassed. Tucker Carlson should
Tucker
be
is crazy
ashamed
for
of
this.
himself.
Tucker said, "Watch me work."
Tucker, this is such a fucking money and ratings grab. It's
Isn't it
disgusting.
interesting?
No, it's so misleading. It's so fucking Fox Newsy. Like he's stooped to all new levels of low now that he's off
Said,
Fox News.
"Watch me work."
I just get Larry Sinclair's biography. Um, he wrote a fucking anyway. Listen, he has a 27-year criminal record. Okay, with a specialty in crimes involving deceit, larceny, forgery,
Most criminals do, I think.
falsifying documents,
Scam.
like literally falsifying his, like impersonating someone else. This is just ridiculous to even believe this man. Are you kidding? The record includes forgery in 2 states. And it's not even
Why?
one
But what's
state.
wrong with Barack Obama doing like he ain't gonna be the first person that had smoked
Crack.
cocaine.
You're not going to sit here. This is anti-black.
It was
You
cocaine, but he
No, he
smoked it.
said
He
crack.
smoked it, which makes it crack. But it was cocaine. Who didn't
Don't play
do
with me.
a little cocaine
Shanti,
and have a little sex?
this is anti-black. Okay.
That's
The fact
crazy.
that you
Calling this anti-black. I don't got nothing to
is
do with race. It has to do
it
with Barack
is
Obama.
this white man is accusing our first black president of smoking crack, and you are with the shits.
I'm not
And
with the
this white
shits.
man
I'm
is
not.
a
I'm saying
fucking
that I wouldn't be
convict
mad at it. The range.
criminal nutcase.
Range.
I ain't mad at convicts. You serve your time. It is what it is. But this dude, 27 years in the game of
He lives that
deceiving
life. It tracks to me.
everyone. And then while he was locked up, child, he was disciplined 97 times while he
He's a
was in
rebel.
jail.
Larry crazy.
You
Fuck with
playing.
Larry.
Y'all better get her. I swear to God. Y'all better tear her up for this. I
Barack
looked on.
got range, okay? If he did it, I'm not mad at him. You doing that type of shit and holding it down, showing up,
I am mad
buttoned up. Why?
because
He's not
that
going
was
to be
not
the
something
first
he discussed
president
with his wife.
to
Okay.
do drugs and have sex. Like
And apparently Larry gave him head.
and he
I don't-
getting head in the listen.
While
Drive
he was a
all off the
senator.
partition, please.
You
Y'all
know
wanna
what?
see Larry on his knees. Oh my God.
I was waiting for you. I was like, she ain't really done nothing that funny this episode. I knew it was coming. As soon as I opened this outline and saw this, I was like, here she go. And then she's like, Barack Obama, alleged crack
Duality.
bust
That's duality.
sexcapade.
Sometimes y'all don't want to fuck with duality for real, for real. You like it when it's cute, but when it's this, y'all like, impossible. That can't exist at the same time. No way. Gay,
Wow.
crack, cocaine fueled sex in the back of the car. And he was like, and I fucking became president on top of it. I love it. Beyonce celebrated her birthday. Shout out to the God, the Queen.
Don't do that,
She
because you also
celebrated.
weird about Beyonce. I don't have time for this episode.
What?
You really acting up this episode. Why are you acting
Why?
like you just love Beyonce? Like you also don't secretly have a lot of conflicting
Oh,
feelings
I
about her.
absolutely do. That's why she's the most interesting person in my life.
She's not in your life. You leave her
She
alone.
is. She's a part of my life daily. My daily thoughts.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Beyonce.
Just go ahead, child.
She celebrated her birthday in LA. It was her final LA performance. She gave a little speech. She said, I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful for my children, for my husband, and all the hell that he put me through. And that I am a safe space and a God for all of y'all. And that I am here to shepherd you. I said, I cried. I was sitting in my bed, crusty eyed, looking at that, just eating up all of the videos. Diana Ross came out. That was interesting. So she just had like a little cameo. She sang her set. And then Beyonce was like, oh,
What?
surprise. She surprised me. What happened with that? Do you know how that worked?
She came out and sang happy birthday to Beyonce.
She sung a set. She sung like Sweetest Hangover first. And then Beyonce was like, what? Diana's here.
Well,
Anyway.
Beyonce didn't arrange for that. The band and stuff would be in on it.
Oh, okay. I love that. Diana came out. Kendrick came out and had a terrible set.
It
Microphone
was
was off
not
half the
terrible.
time. His mic was off like majority of his verse.
Well, Beyonce knew it and she gave us a duck walk because of it. She said, let me get down here and finally vote for these motherfuckers. His mic is off. But came on. I love Kendrick. I love seeing him move. I love seeing him talk. Kendrick could get it.
He could get it. His little
He could get all
ears.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love his voice. Child.
You saw him doing them burpees, push-ups in his lawn?
That's my little Kung Fu Kenny. I love him.
I'm praying for you.
Shout out to his biracial baby mom, wife.
Is she biracial?
Mm-hmm. He got a lot of flack for that.
She been riding with him since high school.
Day one, 10 toes down. And he apparently put her through hell too.
Yep.
All I want to say is the inventory at thrift stores and retail spaces for the next 6 months to a year is going to be whack as fuck. It's just going to be silver and sequins everywhere because that's all everybody has bought. That's all that retail stores have been really putting out. She's just taken over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I hate silver. And I was looking for silver shit.
Shut up, Shanti. You're getting on my nerves today.
Why? I'm telling you my heart. This is really what I think about.
I hate silver and I was looking for silver shit.
It's true.
I don't like silver either.
But you was doing it too. I will say, Antoinette, I do think we were the best dressed.
I agree. I did not like these outfits.
Everybody else?
Unimpressed.
She wore one cowboy hat and y'all was dicky in? Like, you thought that was the theme was cowboy? Like, get up.
Whoa. Did you see what I put here for you? This link? Because I know you was mad at some of these celebrities.
Hated it.
BuzzFeed has a list, y'all, of these 13 celebrities who did it right versus who didn't. They like Katy Perry's outfit. Well, look at this bullshit. Y'all Google what Katy Perry wore to the goddamn Beyonce concert.
Oh,
it's the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Heidi Klum, what does she wear? And who is this black person? She stayed. That's her son. I apologize. Heidi,
Why would you
Zendaya.
do that? Zendaya, what she have on? Zendaya could do no wrong with that oversized blazer on. Chris Rock should have stayed home.
Gabrielle is the
Gabrielle
queen.
did it right.
Yep.
She did it.
Gabrielle Union killed it. The second day I hated it, but the first
Yeah.
day,
I mean, I don't hate the second day. I don't hate it. Even Zaya ain't do it right.
I
I would
don't
have
like any
expected
of
way
them.
more from Zaya. I'm
Antoinette,
really
I
shocked.
hate all of these. We did it right. Oh, embarrassed by everybody. Oh, the biggest disappointment was Tracy Ellis Ross. I said, girl, I know you did not wear that.
Wow, don't talk about Tracy like that. We're never
I
gonna
was
get a Saturn.
so embarrassed. I hated it.
Why did you hate it? Why?
I hated it. Tamara,
Tracy's
Tia and
never
Tamara,
gonna give us a
they
hair dryer.
get on my nerves, those girls. Quinta, I enjoyed Quinta's. Quinta's was
Why'd
cute.
you wait? What's your beef with? I hate Alicia Keys' outfit. She really look at this fucking jacket. What are y'all doing?
What are
Y'all
y'all
got
doing?
stylists.
Y'all terrible. Kelly Rowland 888
Wait,
8 across the board.
every day.
10 across the board, but she 8.
Anyway,
And
us
she had
trolls
such
are
a
just talking shit.
she won
So
the Style Icon Award, and her
I saw
husband
that.
had the sweetest things to say. I love them. I love them. I love this era that
Do
Kelly's
you?
in. I
What's his
do.
name?
Mhm.
If you love him so much, what's his name?
I said I love them.
What's his name?
I
Both
don't
of them.
know.
So you love both of them, right?
Kelly Rowland and her husband. Yeah.
You just be saying shit. You like one speech he said, and now
I
you
know I
love them.
always love them. I always love how he looks at her. He's just like I got you. He's just like that's my boo right there. Why didn't we share our list of celebrities? I was so invested in that.
Oh, did you want to?
Yes. I have my list and
Oh,
everything.
you have a list.
Should
I
we
didn't think
save
you
it for
did
another
it.
episode?
Do it.
Because this,
No.
I think we should be done. It's, no?
Want to do it next episode?
Yeah.
Thursday? Let's do it for Thursdays. Fuck it.
Love this. I think you guys should consider us. And who are celebrity couples that you want to see have sex? I would want to see Kelly Rowe. No, I wouldn't. Nah.
You are not. First of all, that's rude. Log off. You don't need to see it. Say who you don't want to see. That's mean. If somebody said that they didn't want to see me have sex, I would be hurt.
For real? I would
Yeah.
understand. I'd be like, I know.
Wait, what?
I would. I'd be like, I know. It's all right. I don't care.
Shanti.
For real. I swear to God, I know.
Okay. This episode is over. Thank you all so much. Blessings. Bye. What's wrong with you, yo?
I gotta go pee real fast. You ready for this next episode?
Not really, if I'm being completely honest. But we gonna do it.
Use the
Go
pause.
stink, fuck it up. Go stink, fuck it up.
Go stink.
Real COVIDy over there. Oh, stop.